In this example, we've got 25.5 grams of aluminum sulfate is dissolved in water to produce a solution, and we're asked to calculate the concentration of sulfite ions in the solution. So what we need to recognize here is that it's asking us for an ionic compound and it's asking us for its ions. So the reaction we're going to write is for the dissociation of aluminum sulfate. We then need aluminum sulfate, and we're dissolving it in water, so it's going to produce its ions, an Al 3 plus AQ plus sulfate ions, SO4 2 minus AQ. And first step of stoichiometry, we need to balance this. We're going to have a 2 in front of here and a 3 in front of the sulfates. Now this turns into a basic stoichiometry problem. We are given the grams of aluminum sulfate that we're starting with, so we need to convert that and find the number of moles. So the number of moles of aluminum sulfate is going to be the mass divided by the molar mass. Mass we're given as 25.5 grams. And the molar mass is 342.17 grams per mole. When we calculate that, we get 0.0745 ... because the number goes on, moles of aluminum sulfate. The next step then is to set up our molar ratio. What we know is that we've got, for every 1 mole of aluminum sulfate, from our balanced chemical equation, we are going to produce 3 moles of sulfate ions. And we've figured out how many moles of aluminum sulfate we are starting with. We need to figure out how many moles of sulfate ions we are going to produce. When we solve this, you should get 0.223 moles of sulfate ions. The last step is now to convert number of moles of our sulfate ions into the units required. The question asked us to calculate the concentration of sulfite ions in solution. Use the equation of the concentration is equal to the moles divided by the volume. We found the moles in the last step. That was 0.223 moles. And the problem tells us the volume of the solution is 500 milliliters, or 0.500 liters. Solving this gives us a concentration of 0.447 moles per liter of sulfate ions. If you were writing this for IB, you would say 0.447 moles per decimeter cubed of sulfate ions. So then you would include a therefore statement and say, therefore, the concentration of sulfate ions is 0.447 moles per decimeter cubed.